I don't know if you've ever tried to learn a language other than English, but it takes a lot of practice. It's very difficult to do it just by reading it once. So when I'm learning a language, I like to read it and write it and say it over and over and over. And that's what I have my students do. Now you can read different sentences over and over, different stories over and over, and that's one form of repetition, and that's great. But the form I like the most is what I call the same sentence form. It's books that use the same sentence over and over again and then feed the student a new line after the same sentence. So they read along, and in this case it's about Gus the pup, and they give you a familiar line about Gus every page, and then a new line. So you always have that feeling of success when you read about Gus because you're reading the same sentence over and over when you start the page. And then the new lines don't make the student feel like they're failing. It makes them feel like, hey, I've just got to get through this line. I've already gotten through the one I know. I'm a good reader, and that's important when students read. So this form of repetition, I think, is really good for young readers. It's the same thing over and over, but it's new things with it on every page. Here's a book about a road runner, and again, they're employing the same tactic. The same sentence doesn't always come in the same spot, but the new sentences come with it, and that familiarity really is good for a young reader.